What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, Bitcoin is currently about to do something that I think is incredibly important that I want you to pay attention to. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade some Bitcoin on up to 100x leverage, you can use my Margex link down in the description below. When you do sign up, you're not going to need the KYC, and you are going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses. That means you don't have to give them any of your personal information, but when you do sign up and start trading, you're going to get up to $10,000, guys. And so make sure that you do go check out the link in the description below and see if it works for you. But with that in mind, of course, let's get straight into it and talk about what is happening with Bitcoin. Now, as many of you know, this market has been making some beautiful moves recently. You know, we talked about it over on the second channel just this morning, that things were going absolutely fantastic, and we were noticing some great shifts in the market that will be important. And what I am wanting to focus on today on this channel is the fact that Bitcoin's price itself is about to try to make a very important move that has a lot of implications on it, and I want to quickly explain that to you. So what we have been tracking for Bitcoin's price obviously has been this descending channel. Now, Bitcoin's price has been in this descending channel since March of this year, and so of course we're kind of sick of it. We're tired of looking at it, but at the end of the day, I've told you all, the longer that we stay in here, the better, in my opinion, because oftentimes when you can maintain, you know, kind of consolidationary trends or patterns of this nature, oftentimes the breakouts can be quite explosive, and I do think it's kind of like a coil up effect. The longer it coils up and coils up and coils up, boom, the bigger that explosion can be. And so of course, looking at Bitcoin here, I have no issue with this being in here, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite ready for us to make the breakout. Now, what we can see is that things are starting to change for Bitcoin, okay? Things are starting to change for Bitcoin, and what I mean by that is the fact that macro structure is changing. Now, oftentimes what we've been seeing recently, especially since the first time we made this move to the downside, is that Bitcoin has been putting in, quite obviously, lower highs and lower lows every single time, basically, right? We would see it happen even here, right? We would set a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And even in moments like these, we wouldn't get these macro lows, right? A macro low like this or like this or like this or whatever, right? We wouldn't get these macro lows. It's just consistent lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. But something has changed recently. After we set this low down here, which was a fake out to the downside, we have now seen Bitcoin's price come back up and put in a macro higher low. So from this low to this low, it was a higher low. And you guys know that's a great sign. It's a good sign to just go to show that, one, this is a fake out. Two, the support that we built outside this zone here has been holding, and three, the trend itself might be changing. And in a moment like this in which we set a higher low, well, obviously the next thing that you're looking for is a higher high. And what we can see here is now Bitcoin is starting to determine whether or not it is ready and willing to create its first macro higher high in a very, very, very long time, right? You can see here, even in these moments, right, we've just not been able to do it. Every single time we have the opportunity to set a higher high, we just can't do it. And this may be the very first time in which Bitcoin can come from a low in which we set right off the bottom side of the structure. So we put a bottom side structure support, come up and establish a high, break back down. Now we might be looking to make the higher high. Now, sure, what we have to be realistic about is the fact that even if Bitcoin's price is capable of breaking the current $64,800 level, we are still sitting within the structure. We do still have this massive freaking point of resistance sitting right on top of us that might push the price down. But you cannot ignore the importance of the fact that Bitcoin would have then set the first macro higher high that it's set at all throughout this entire move that we've been within this consolidationary / descending channel. And is it a coincidence that the very first time it sets a new higher high is right after we saw a fake out to the downside, especially knowing that historically fake outs to the downside lead to breakouts to the upside? No, you can't call that a coincidence, because history says it happens all the time. And so because of that, the whole point of what I'm saying, just to summarize a little bit, is that since we saw this fake out to the downside, which was a good sign, Bitcoin has now come up and put in a higher low. Now that we've set a higher low, you're looking for the higher high, and if Bitcoin's price is capable of setting a high above $64,817 thousand, it puts us in a position in which it has now confirmed its very first set of macro higher highs and higher lows. And oftentimes when that happens, especially following a fake out to the downside of a descending structure of this nature, that opens up the door of opportunity for Bitcoin to be able to make this move to the upside, potentially even breaking out of this descending channel in which we've been in. Now, it might not be immediate, and it might look something like this, right? But it does start to open up that door of opportunity, and it makes it even more likely that we do get a breakout to the upside. And that's why it's so important that you watch extremely closely what happens here at $64.8 thousand. And so of course I know I've been AFK or MIA for the last couple of days. Don't forget, guys, I'm a professional kickboxer, and so I had a fight on Friday, and so because of that I was just healing up and taking some time off. We did get the win, but I'm happy to be back in the mix, and I will continue to update you as this does play out, as Bitcoin attempts to make that macro higher high. So make sure that if you do enjoy these quick, straight to the point updates on Bitcoin's technical analysis, you do subscribe to the channel. We cover Bitcoin, Solana, Jasmy, Render, and much more. So if you do enjoy that, of course, remember, again, subscribe to the channel down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.